internet marketing for filmmakers.com. Curious about Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity. Could those two marketing campaigns be duplicated?
Yeah.
Successfully?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to take into account that there's always sort of a zeitgeist of what's going on in the world, and timing is always going to be a big factor. And you also have to understand that, certainly at the time that Blair Witch happened, it was a very organic process. Now there are a lot of tools that didn't exist back then for doing large-scale viral internet marketing. Paranormal Activity, for example, used this demanded service, which allowed people, as they became familiar with the movie, just seeing clips of it online and hearing about it online, to do this demanded function and basically ask for it to be shown in their city. And that created a sort of viral thing. So there are all sorts of tools like that now. Certainly Facebook and Twitter and other more traditional social media tools can be used that way as well. The big piece of the puzzle is you need to find something that's going to capture the imagination in a viral way. It's not just guesswork. And a lot of what I get frustrated with is filmmakers that go, oh well, I put it up on Facebook and it's on YouTube, why isn't it going viral? There are techniques that you can use to make something go viral. For example, there's something that I teach a lot called a lower third, which is when you put a video on YouTube or anywhere else, you take the lower third of that video and you put your web address on it, so that all the time that they're watching that video, they're looking at your web address, which makes it much more likely at the end of the video, if they're really interested in it, to send it to somebody. Also, on the website, you would probably want to have, if you want something to go viral, you want to have multiple invitations to anybody who's looking at a video or looking at a clip or looking at a photo or whatever it is that is the viral agent. You want to don't just hope that it's going to go viral, invite people to send it to their friends. And there are step-by-step formulas for making stuff viral. For example, this wasn't a film, but just as a goof in 2008, when Sarah Palin got nominated, my friend Bob and I, we're big Monty Python geeks. We had only ever heard of Michael Palin, so we came up with the idea of creating michaelpalinforpresident.com, and we created a fake political ad that was essentially saying that Michael Palin, as a member of Monty Python and somebody who had traveled the world doing documentaries and meeting heads of state, who had studied history at Cambridge University, was more qualified to run the free world than Sarah Palin, and we used Monty Python clips to demonstrate his qualifications. We set up this website, and literally we slapped it together in 5 days. It was, we came up with the idea, we bought the domain name, we put the video together, we put up the website, and then we sent an email to about 2,000 people, so that the email went out on the day that she was speaking, that Sarah Palin was speaking at the Republican convention, and it got seen by 700,000 people within about 3 to 4 weeks. That was, partly it was lightning in a bottle because that was the hot topic at that moment, and it was just a very funny idea at the right time, but it worked better than it would have otherwise because we did the lower third. We did continually, on any page you were on that website, the biggest thing on that page was tell your friend, send to a friend. And we actually, as a side effect, we did it totally as a goof. We weren't trying to make a business out of it. We also had an opt-in box. We ended up collecting 12,000 email addresses of Monty Python fans that loved what we were doing, and they started sending us emails saying, can you sell us stuff? And we ended up making like $8,000 to $10,000 selling bumper stickers and through an Amazon affiliate program, Monty Python box sets and things. The point is that the viral thing can be engineered. The trick is you have to come up with the right idea at the right time. and you have to have the mechanisms in place, and you have to understand how the mechanisms work, and you have to invite the people to do it. Now, as far as Blair Witch or Paranormal Activity goes, before I get to Paranormal Activity, let's talk for a minute about Snakes on a Plane. Viral in and of itself does not guarantee success. Everybody thought the website for Snakes on a Plane was great, but nobody went to see the movie. And the word of mouth on the movie from the people who did see it was very, very bad. Viral is pure word of mouth. So the trick is, you can't guarantee that viral is going to solve all your problems if your movie is no good or if your marketing isn't done in the right way. For all of the viral activity around Paranormal Activity, to me, the thing that Paramount did, which was genius, which wasn't viral at all, was the trailer for Paranormal Activity. In fact, for my monthly members on my site, I did a whole analysis of the trailer. I'll give you sort of the quick and dirty version of it here. Paranormal Activity had so few shots in it that would make up a good trailer that they didn't sell the movie in the trailer. What they did was they sold the perceived emotional experience that the audience would have watching that movie. So the first shot of the trailer is a bunch of people standing in a line outside a theater. The second shot is a bunch of people coming into the theater and sitting down. You then see the Paramount logo, but the Paramount logo doesn't even fill the screen. The Paramount logo is seen in the theater over the heads of the audience, so that psychologically and emotionally you feel like you're in the audience at that moment. And then you see little tiny clips from the movie, barely a couple of seconds each, where nothing that interesting even happens, but they would show a little clip and then they'd cut straight back to the audience, and you'd watch the audience reaction. So the audience reaction was the product that they were selling. Does that make sense?
It does.
And it's one of the most brilliant trailers I've ever seen, because it was digging deeply into the psychology and emotions of the audience watching, because there was nothing there for within the, and it's not a question of whether the movie's any good or not, but just there wasn't enough imagery to pull out and make a traditional trailer that was going to work. And what they ended up doing is creating the illusion of a phenomenon even before it was a phenomenon. And that was absolute genius. The viral part did happen to some degree, but I think, if you work for Paramount's marketing department, don't get mad at me, but I think a lot of the viral, there was a lot of hype about it being viral, but again, you had Paramount's marketing budget behind it. Blair Witch was pure viral because the viral thing happened before Artisan bought the film at Sundance. People were already talking about it everywhere. And for me, that's the much more important piece that I've been trying to teach filmmakers lately, is how do you build audience excitement before the movie comes out? How do you build, without having just a $40 million marketing budget or even $1 million marketing budget? How do you use the viral tools on the internet and the social networking and blogs and videos and all of that kind of stuff to build a relationship with your audience first and foremost, and second, to create an emotional excitement around the film. And there are amazing techniques for doing this that I've learned outside of the film industry that get used by grassroots internet marketers for all sorts of products. But nobody except me seems to be teaching this stuff to filmmakers within the film industry. And I think there's a huge opportunity that we're going to see in the next couple of years of films starting to take advantage of some of these techniques that are out there, because they work. They're very simple, they're very powerful. I'm not going to say that it doesn't take some effort to put them together and make them work properly, but they are doable and they're learnable.